In the previous video, we saw what's happened when you have a lot of requests sending to the Bonita server. So now let's see what can we tune and how we do that. So the questions we have now is this number 20 by default is enough? Can I enlarge it, or is that okay, or can I reduce it, or what I have to do? So to do that, I use a tool. So you have different tools. You may use some tool like New Relic or Java Melody or something like this. The idea here is to register which request arrive on your server and how many times you need to serve this request, and at one moment the peak, how many requests, how many thread is busy to serve the different requests. So to do that, I use the tools on the community, and the name is security car. So this tool is, I will do another video only for that tool. This tool is very useful because you can check who attack you, okay? And if some guys want to try to break a password and you have some protections, you can disable the server and whatever. So you have the element. You know by this tool who are currently connected to your server, and if you don't like the guy, you just disconnect it and that's it. You see. And what I'm looking here is the server activities. So what this tool does here, it will register by slot of 10 minutes the longer URL, here it is, and the number of peak. Okay, and you see here we have 24, and that's because I did a lot of tests. Remember, I run the test with 80 at the same time. So why it's 24 when the maximum is 20? To be honest, I don't know. I don't know why the tool register 24, but this is the peak that it detects. So how it's done behind the scene to do that? Actually, when you install the tool, you have to install a filter Tomcat. So everything arrive on the Tomcat will be registered in the filter. The filter does not do nothing, just to register who connect at one moment. If you connect by the login, you can say, okay, you try to log and you make a bad password, something like this, and you can protect the login page. And that's it. So it just needs here to give you that information, and it registers the times need to serve one URL. And here you have the top 10 URL to serve. So you can see here, you have a lot of one, but after the next one is about 80. And during the same request, look, you have more than 20,000 requests, and you see, okay, it's 2 seconds here, but look, after it's less than 1 second. So here, what I want to say, okay, you reach a peak, and that's maybe here you can enlarge because you have a lot of requests and you reach the peak here in that element. Okay. So which advice I would like to give you in that situations? You have to look for the peak and the CPU. So let's different element. First, you have to check for the peak of HTTP thread. If the peak is under the number of threads available in the Tomcat, do nothing. Don't need to change that parameters. When can I increase this number of HTTP thread? First, you have to reach the peak. If you don't reach the peak, no way to change that. Second, of course, you can increase this number, then you will get more working and managed in the same times. But keep in mind, these parameters is here to protect the server. You have to check before any increase, you have to check the CPU and the memory. Because if you don't have enough CPU, if your CPU is already at 100% during these times, if you increase the number of parallel threads in the same times, then, well, you don't have enough CPU, already not have it. You can't handle more work than that, and the situation will be worse because the machine will completely be stopped and trying to manage 80 threads in the same times, and you have nothing. Okay, so keep it in mind. So if you don't have more CPU and memory, I would like to give as an advice to reduce this number, because with Java, if you increase if you have more thread working than the resources as a CPU, in fact, the Java machines take times to switch to one thread to another, to swap and so on. So actually, the number of performance decrease. If you have enough CPU and memory, then you can increase. So here, if I look to that situations, if I face that one, okay, here I reach a peak, okay, but look, I have one thread, but the other is good, okay? So even if I have that all the days, okay, maybe I can increase, but look, I have only, and in general, the other part is good here. So in that situation, I don't want to do anything. If I face that one, then 3 seconds for a user, it's become to be visible, okay, because it's only one thread, and you see only to display the portal, we need to have 84 requests. So that means it's not only 3 seconds, the user will wait more than that. So here I will see to increase the number of threads, but if you don't have enough CPU, then you have to go to the cluster, and that part of the Bonita Portal to enable the clustering. So you will have a second machine, a second CPU, and so on. So you can increase the CPU of your machine, or you can put two machines the same time. Okay, and if you are in that situation here, okay, do nothing, your platform is okay. So you see, you have some parameters, and you have to check and monitor your server to decide and to find the correct value. So to be complete, let's now speak about what you may have on the browser side, and if you have any performance, how to detect that and how to fix that. But because it takes time, let's do that in the next video. I wait for you.